Welcome to the IDP Guys Start-Sit Show Week 15. It is playoff time in fantasy football. So I hope you're here. I hope you're enjoying the playoff run. And
Yes.
That feels good.
But if you have any questions whatsoever, let us know your situation that you're in right now, because we've had two games that can really throw fantasy football into a lopsided contest. So let us know your situation and let us know your options, because we want to try to give you the best chance of winning this week's playoff round. So I'm joined here by Mike and Sean. Mike, do you want to tell everybody what you do here at IDP Guys?
Sure. I run the weekly newsletter that goes out every single Wednesday, free to sign up for in our either the IDP Guys bio or IDP Plus bio or my own bio. It's in there. So yeah, do a lot of that. We're on the socials. Make sure you're following. Currently at IDP Guys on Twitter, Facebook, all those good stuff. That's me. That's what I do, Grant.
Sean, how about yourself?
I freeload and ride the coattails of everyone else as of late. But when I'm not doing that, I'm doing some of the writing.
It's nonsense.
That's about it.
But hey, I'm just here. I'm also kind of doing the same thing Sean's doing, just riding everybody's coattails that wants to make content, and I do all the easy stuff. Not really, but I just like to tell myself that.
The self-esteem in this call,
Grant,
in this chat,
Grant does more than I do. I'll give you that.
I will say, if it looks like I'm crying, I wasn't crying. I was cutting onions because we were making beer brats for lunch today. So
nice.
Yeah, I wasn't crying about the Chargers firing Staley. I wasn't crying about the Vikings losing in overtime. I promise. Might have been a little bit more happy about the Steelers, but I'm sorry, Mike.
Yeah, same. Yeah. It's a team that has no direction. It's a team that has no future. It has no present. It used to have a past, but they gave it up a long time ago. They suck.
Wow.
And they're injured. So it's a very bad combination of a bad team that is also has no depth and now has that depth tested. It shows when they lost their second and third or both their starting safeties yesterday. It sucked. It sucked, Grant. It did.
Well,
we are in high spirits right now.
We are. Listen. This show will be 10 out of 10. People will tune in and talk about it for ages, of course. But what we won't be talking about for ages is how bad the Steelers were last night. So that's all. We can try to move on from that statement of the week 15 game.
Absolutely. But let us know your questions so we can get you guys some help. Like I said, to win the first round of your playoffs, whether you are the underdog or you're favored to win by 20, 30 points, doesn't matter. Fantasy football, anything can happen. So let us help you. But we do have one question right now from Will Power. I have three really gross QB decisions: Josh Allen or Dak this week. Also in another league, Dak or Hurts. And then in another league, Lamar or Dak. Tried trading out of this earlier with no luck.
Well, you know, we love you here at this show. We love seeing you every single week. But there are people out there, myself included, that were deciding between Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell this week. Both of which were fantastic. Yeah, you calling these really gross decisions. You got the QB1 and probably a QB2 here. I'll go tough, not gross. But I'm not benching Josh Allen. I just have that rushing floor. They're both great. But I mean, Josh Allen is the better performer on the year, and they both have the exact same matchup. So, yeah, I'll go Josh Allen here. Another league, I'll go Dak over Hurts. So I'm starting to get worried.
Yeah, and then we got Lamar or Dak.
Lamar, MVP Lamar, borderline MVP Lamar. Yeah,
man, I think I agree with you, Mike. Here with 2 out of 3. I think I like Dak over Lamar.
I have no issues with that either. These are all top tier, similar tier type of players, and the matchups don't really sway me one way or another. So you can pick almost any of these guys, and I wouldn't feel too bad.
Yeah, so we all think Hurts is last on this, right? Yeah, they have not looked good the last few weeks. Dak has cooled off a bit, but yeah, I'll do like Josh Allen's running upside. It's the turnovers, that could pop back up. But I'll still take his upside rushing the ball. And the first one, definitely like Dak over Hurts. This Lamar and Dak one, this has been intriguing. I do think I'll lean Lamar here.
And we did
Same
just get
thing, rushing upside.
Sorry, Sean. We did also just get some interesting Jalen Hurts news that just came out from Adam Schefter, saying that Jalen Hurts has been downgraded to questionable for Monday night. His sickness worsened overnight. Still holding hopes to play on Monday. He's still traveling separately from the team to not get anyone else sick. So you can add that in as well of another potential worry for Jalen Hurts, given that now he has been downgraded to questionable due to illness. So that's not
What time does Dak play?
Dak at the same time as Josh Allen is the best answer I can give you.
So with that being said,
let me find this out.
They're this afternoon.
Wait till last minute to make that Dak Hurts decision if you have to. But I honestly I think I still want to go Dak.
As do I. Yeah.
And he has a fourth question: Mahomes or Kyler?
Don't do
what
this.
A jerk! What a jerk!
Not today. Not week 15. Not week 15. I expect the 49ers to handle the Cardinals. I'm going to go with Mahomes here. Mahomes is pissed. He needs a game. He's got the Patriots, right?
Lost 50 G's.
Yeah, it's he is in as need of a blow game as I've ever seen somebody. So I'm gonna go Mahomes and not touch that San Fran defensive line.
Do you agree with that, Sean?
I do, but I almost entertained the thought of taking Kyler here, having the bye week and just ruining San Francisco's good time. Yeah, it's Mahomes. I don't think the Cardinals have any healthy, viable receivers right now. So
Hollywood's back. Hollywood's back.
Is he playing?
He's back this week, which it does make it a little bit more interesting. I do have to say, but my ultimate message to everybody in the playoffs is you're playing for your life at this point, right? You lose, you're out, it's over. Go with the players that you are not going to feel bad about being wrong about. That's always been my mentality of if you have that gut feeling about Kyler Murray and you really think it's going to happen, play Kyler Murray because you might get pissed at yourself if you end up being wrong or if you end up being right and you didn't play him. So I always try to go with my gut and what I will feel good about at the end of the day with playoffs because I want to feel as good as I can about the decisions I make.
So we got the Tootsie Pop 6. Good morning. I have Cody Barton, Quay Walker, and 2 flex spots. On my bench, I have Bradley Chubb, Shaquille Leonard, Quinnen Williams, and Isaiah McDuffie. How many? Well, I guess we're going to choose 2 to start here. It looks like.
Well, Barton's definitely one of them for me. No Jermaine Davis. He's as safe as it comes of all these guys. So definitely Barton. I believe Quay Walker's expected to play, which puts McDuffie down because Campbell's back, right, Sean?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. So that kind of makes Isaiah McDuffie a no-go. And it's kind of a tough matchup for Quay Walker regardless. Tampa just doesn't allow a ton of position. So I'll probably go Cody Barton and Quinnen Williams. Oh, no. Cody Barton, Bradley Chubb. I will chase that Jets off to the ground, which typically works out well for me. So Cody Barton and Bradley Chubb for me.
How about you, Sean?
Yeah, I like that. Barton is the for sure top guy here. Walker has been such a disappointment even when he does start. McDuffie's usually pretty good if he plays, but that's not looking likely this week. Quinn Williams, another guy who's disappointed. Leonard's off my radar. Yeah, Chubb. Barton and Chubb. The Jets' offensive line still sucks.
Yeah. Let's see here. Evan is asking, do we think Van Ginkel plays?
I've been weighing that all week, and that's honestly the hardest decision I have left in my playoff rosters is figuring out whether I want to trust Van Ginkel this week. Again, like we just talked about, a great matchup against the New York Jets. So I think he lines up. I think he plays. That's my tentative optimism. But I'm not a doctor, and we don't have inside the facility. So he's got on the field. Whenever someone practices, I tend to think they'll suit up, especially when they practice later in the week. But it's a little bit dicey because it is a 4:00 game, right? I believe. Oh no, it's a 1:00 game. So we'll know by kickoff anyway whether Van Ginkel is able to line up or early slate. I know we got time zones.
Yeah. So this one's interesting. Jaden Reed or Garrett Wilson, full PPR. Will said, sorry, I don't really have any defensive questions. I have buys in those leagues. First off, congratulations.
This guy.
Hey, man, mostly.
We are IDP plus, so we don't discriminate offense or defense. If you do ask some people, they will say kickers. They will discriminate against kickers.
I do discriminate against kickers. I do.
So,
They're
Sean,
are
you going Jaden Reed or Garrett Wilson here?
Oh, man. I'm leaning Jaden Reed because the last I heard, the Dolphins-Jets game was going to have a 30-mile-an-hour wind gust. I don't know if that's still the forecast. But at that time, we were looking at big wind gusts, not a great matchup. I think I'm leaning Reed because he does get more runs and everything. I feel like he's the safer play here.
And I do believe Christian Watson is out.
He's expected to miss. So is A.J. Dillon, and that's kind of the big thing for me is we are hoping that he gets more and more carries this week without A.J. Dillon. Aaron Jones in his first game back, they're not going to give him 20 touches or anything like that. So I'm always reluctant to bench Garrett Wilson because I believe him as a top 5 talent in the league potentially. So I'm still going to go Jaden Reed, but I think it's a matter of safety. I might shoot Jaden Reed for ceiling, Garrett Wilson for floor, and with having Saturday games and Thursday game, we do have some knowledge about where you might be ending up in your league of what you need. If you need ceiling, I'm going to go Jaden Reed. If you need floor, I'm going to go Garrett Wilson.
For Matt Higman, we got Levante David versus Green Bay or Jordan Brooks versus Philly. Sean, do you guys have any opinions here? Sean, with you first.
I feel like every week we talk about Jordan Brooks. I pick the wrong side of it. Every week I trust him, he does terrible, and every week I don't trust him, he does great. So I'm going to go Levante. He was tearing it up prior to the injury, and obviously had kind of a okay return last week, but he was exceptional in the weeks prior to that. So I'm going to trust him even in a not great matchup against Green Bay. I'm going to go Levante.
Sean,
I'm going to take the opposite. I know Green Bay, not playing Dillon. Aaron Jones isn't a for sure thing either. So we may not have much of a rushing attack here. I know Philly's banged up as well too. I feel like Seattle will be on defense more than Tampa, and I'm going to take Jordan Brooks here.
Yeah, that's fair. I get that.
It's not like a huge gap between those two at all, but I would lean Brooks. I think he has just a little more big play upside.
Will Power is back in the comments asking likely or McBride.
Oh man, it's amazing what a bye week does to you because Trey McBride was sensational, and then he had his bye week, and now I'm like, I don't know, but I like Isaiah Likely quite a bit. I like him this week too. John, what do you think?
Sure. I'm liking Likely here. San Francisco's tough.
That's what I'm trying to decide if I can get past is that
And
Fred Warner matchup.
We did watch Jacksonville give up 2 touchdowns to tight ends last week against the Browns.
Yeah.
Right.
And the Ravens love to use their tight ends as well. So I think I'm leaning Likely here.
I'll make it unanimous and go Isaiah Likely. I'm it's purely a matchup thing. I don't love sitting Trey McBride.
Yeah, sure. That's totally fair.
Yeah, especially against San Fran.
No, it's
well,
tough.
We talked about having Brown back there too, so that could eat up some of the targets that McBride was getting, possibly. If that makes anybody feel any better.
Also, Chris Olave is officially out. We can. He was expected to be, but we can all take him. All those dreams of him coming back, we could take those out.
So Dylan's got a few questions here. Different leagues, all full PPR. So the first question is pick 2. Pollard is playing Buffalo. Jaden Reed. I'm sorry. Reed at Tampa Bay. Cook at Dallas. So we need to pick 2 for those.
That's not easy. I understand why you're asking that because that is not an easy question. Because I want to bench James Cook, but he's been in top 10 running back over the last 3 games, 4 games even potentially. But that Dallas matchup is really not ideal. And I love Jaden Reed against Tampa. I really do. So I'm gonna go a little bit bold. I don't love it. But I'm gonna bench James Cook of that trio. I don't love that. I don't feel great about it, but I'll go. I'm gonna bench James Cook.
I think I'm with you.
Oh, that makes me feel better.
I'm not benching Pollard. He's my number 1 out of these 3.
Yeah, that's how I leaned as well.
All right.
Sorry.
So the next one's a little interesting here. You got Waddle or Reed. Tyreek has the ability to decide if he's playing today. Is he 100%? And does that affect any target share to Waddle? We did see last week that when Tyreek went down, they leaned a little bit more heavily on the running game.
It doesn't. To me, Tyreek being out doesn't help. It hurts. That secondary is hard enough to beat. I don't want Jalen Waddle's taking the full brunt of that. And even then, Jalen Waddle's been massively disappointing this year. So I'm going to go Jaden Reed here. Without, I'd play James. I'd play all the other 2 options above over Jalen Waddle this week. So yeah, I'm gonna go Jaden Reed with some confidence that even if I'm wrong, I feel okay about it.
Sean?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, the weather is a factor in this one. So weather, if Hill's out, then Waddle's getting locked down, and we've seen him struggle against the Titans of all people, or of all teams the other night. So short week. If Hill's in, Waddle gets a bit of a boost, but it's not big enough for me to play him over Reed. Not this week.
We also, not to jump in, but we got some interesting IDP news coming in from Stacey Dales of NFL Network. Devin White, inactive today, will not play, not injury related. A fall from grace may be completed for Devin White, who was once a top 5 IDP linebacker and is now nothing more than a borderline healthy scratch or whatever story is going to come out of that. But Devin White not playing today, not injury related. Certainly not the way his season was expected to go.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
when Levante David isn't in there and White, is the main linebacker, he struggles
Yes,
quite
he
a
does.
bit. Like it's very obvious. He is a Patrick Queen. He is a better number 2 linebacker
Yes.
on the team.
love that comp. Yeah.
So if you get him on the right team, with another linebacker who's in charge, then he could excel again. But I think he's been frustrated, if I'm not mistaken. I think I read some things a while back.
Yes, yeah. He wanted to get paid despite
Yeah.
not seeing any reason that he should
Right.
get paid, and thus this created kind of a deadlock. And obviously, Tampa's season is not over by any stretch in the NFC South. So
No.
it's not a great time to throw a tantrum if that's what he's doing. I don't want to speculate, but either way, he's not playing today.
Are we getting KJ Britt again?
Or we getting Servakia Dennis? That's the real question. Or do we not care? we do thankfully have what's his name back. We have Levante David back. So I truthfully don't want to gamble whether it's going to be Britt or Dennis. I'd lean Dennis slightly.
I think it was Britt last week.
Oh no, it was Britt last week. I thought Dennis
was
Britt.
But I don't know if Dennis was sick or injured, or if he was just leapfrogged by Britt. That's what I didn't dig into that very
hard. I don't
hard.
want to trust in my Week 15 playoffs.
Yeah. So the final question that Dylan has here is for one defensive team: Titans versus Houston, Saints versus Giants, Ravens versus Jacksonville.
I'm putting the Saints in a few spots, and genuinely, I don't feel good about it.
I could see the Saints losing this game.
Of course, I can see the Saints losing every game. They look terrible.
Yeah.
They look so unbelievably below average.
Right.
Especially with the Italian stallion and playing for
you
the
got Davis Mills, you got Tommy DeVito, and you got Lawrence. But also the Ravens defense has been exceptional. So I'm still going to say the Ravens defense is the one I'm benching here. So it comes down between the other two. As much as I love the Ravens defense, it also has a little bit of injuries. Is Kyle Hamilton playing this week?
I think so.
He is?
Yeah, I believe they had everybody back at practice but one.
Okay. So that's good because that man has no right to be good to go. But yeah, full participant on Friday. So that is tough because we have seen Jacksonville crumble as well.
Yes, I like Tennessee here against the very beat up Houston Texans.
Yeah, that's where I'll lean as well. You got Robert Woods and Noah Brown as 1 and 2. You got Davis Mills under center. Unless there's no Jeffrey Simmons, which isn't ideal. But I'll screw it. I'm gonna go Saints. I'm waiting for the Tom DeVito fall off. I keep waiting for the Tom DeVito fall off. I'm trusting the Saints in one of my leagues. I don't feel great about it, but Saints or Ravens for me. I truthfully don't trust that Titans defense right now. I just don't think it's a good team.
That was a roller coaster.
It was a roller coaster.
That was fun.
Every week.
That was fun. I enjoyed the ride there.
Okay,
so the Titans have a round of flu going around their team. Alshire, Denico Autry are two of them that were downgraded to questionable before this game. I think they're expected to play, but those are two big pieces to that Titans defense. And I think Houston are they starting Case Keenum?
Case Keenum is starting.
Oh my god, I thought it was Davis Mills. Oh, this is what I'm saying. I'm struggling to this point. I'm struggling.
Case Keenum scares me a little more than Davis Mills, but not by a lot. I want to take the Titans.
Your worst nightmare just popped into the.
Oh my gosh, I was right until 24 and a half minutes into the show.
My son told me I was trending on Twitter that there was just like, where's Waldo? Where's Ricky Rod 66? And so I said, well, I have to join here. So we made it back from my son's graduation. We got in really, really late from driving back from the University of Arkansas. And so, sorry, I'm a little bit late, but I heard you guys and I said, I got to join the fun with my friends here.
So we're talking defensive picks here. Titans, Saints, or Ravens?
You tell us, Saints fan.
Ah,
I started to tilt into the
well,
Saints.
I was listening to you trashing my Saints as I was kind of joining in, and I can't blame it. So I'm seeing all of the yeah. I minus 5.5. The Saints are favored by, and I'm just like scratching my head. And if I was going to Vegas right now, I'd be putting my money on the Giants for the win. I'm just not trusting the Saints at all. So they're out. The weather in Jacksonville is supposed to be pretty darn nasty. I was just reading a forecast. Actually, I wanted to read the latest right before I joined. Now they're saying it's supposed to clear up right before game time from a rain perspective, but wind gusts, particularly in the first half, might be in 30, 40 mile per hour range.
Yep.
That leads me to want to go with the Ravens defense, quite frankly. Trevor Lawrence threw 3 picks last week. So of these 3, and I think Houston will be very conservative on offensive game plan, whether it be Keenum or Davis Mills. So I just think the Ravens is the one to go there.
And Dylan also had an additional question: James Conner versus San Francisco, Ford versus Chicago, or Singletary versus Tennessee, or Clyde Edwards-Helaire versus New England. Sean, you got one. You get to pick one.
It's not Connor. I don't trust KC to choose just one running back either. So I'm down to Ford and Singletary. I'm leaning forward here because the Titans have been fairly stout against the run, and I imagine Dameon Pierce is actually going to get some.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Jerome Ford here with some confidence of, you know what you're getting. You've gotten a very stable production over the last month and a half from Jerome Ford, which either it comes with the yards and no touchdown, or it comes with the touchdown and no yards. But either way, it keeps on finding a way to get it done. And that Chicago run defense still does not scare me one bit.
And the weather here in Ohio is rainy, not
really
cold. It's 48. It's rainy, and it's probably going to stick around right till halftime.
Weather in Ohio is disgusting.
Hey, luckily it's not snow. At this time, it's usually snow.
That's true.
Ricky,
it does say sustained winds. It does say sustained winds 15 to 20 miles per hour with gusts of 25 as well for the game, which might lead to more of a shorter passing game as well, a little bit more of a running game. So even without the weather, I was leaning towards Ford, but I like the Ford play of these 4.
Yeah, and honestly, the weather up there in that stadium, once the wind gets in there, it's swirling. It is not just one directional winds coming off the lake. Then we got Aaron Jones or Jerome Ford.
This is easy. It's Jerome Ford. Aaron Jones has done nothing this year. When he plays, he gets re-hurt. Like I'm not trusting this guy. Not this time of the year. I'm not trusting Aaron Jones at all.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to, right? Is if this is week 6, we're willing to maybe take a shot on Aaron Jones. There's no AJ Dillon. This is week 15. It's the playoffs. I'm not playing him in this first game back. And if I'm wrong, again, what I was saying earlier, if I'm wrong about something, I want to feel good about being wrong about it. And if I'm wrong about Aaron Jones, it is what it is. The process is sound with benching this week for a very stable dream.
Ricky?
Yep, my friend Rougarou from Metairie, Louisiana. I have to go along with my friends. It's Jerome Ford, and it's not too close here.
We got Jalen Ramsey versus the Jets, or Benjamin
St. Juice
versus the Rams.
Oh man! You roll the dice on the interception, or you try to take those safe slot tackles. Oh, and there it is. Tyreek Hill is inactive today. Inactive
Wow.
Hill. Everyone prepare to change all of your lineups and insert those Tyree questions into the chat. That said, I'm gonna go St. Juice here. I never like relying on the splash play for my defensive backs. But yeah, I'm gonna go St. Juice.
Ricky?
I'm with Michael on this one. I'm going to take the chance that St. Juice would give me 5 or 6 kind of combined tackles, assisted tackles, etc. So and I haven't seen if Xavier Howard's out, but he's been limited as well. So I think they'll pick on him more, even if he does play. So I'm going to St. Juice.
Sean?
Yeah, I'm with these guys.
Okay, so we got 3 for St. Juice here. Will's back in, asking to sit 1 in a full PPR. Reed, Wilson, or D-Hop could play Mitchell in the flex over these 3 other players. Ricky, how about you? What do you think?
I heard y'all giving a lot of love to Jaden Reed earlier, and I can't argue with that. Oh, this is a little bit of a tough one here. I like D-Hop's matchup against Tennessee. I really do. Excuse me, against Houston. The one I'm sitting, believe it or not, is probably Garrett Wilson. I have a feeling that Zach Wilson can have 2 magical games in a row. And the answer just right now is no. I just don't feel it. So I'm going to keep reading D-Hop in.
Mike, how about you?
My friends won't agree with me.
Yeah, I lean the same way. I'm with you, Ricky, and that's wrong. That feels so damn wrong to take DeAndre Hopkins over Garrett Wilson. But I'm going to go that way because Will Levis is as hyper fixated as every quarterback ever is with DeAndre Hopkins, and it's a good matchup. We expect plenty of snaps for Tennessee if Houston struggles to move the ball. So, yeah, I'm playing Jaden Reed. I'm not thinking twice about that, and I'm gonna play DeAndre Hopkins, which I hate over Garrett Wilson, but I'm gonna do it.
Sean, how about you? Oh, hold on. There you go.
All right. Yeah, so I'm with you guys. We bashed Wilson earlier. Yeah, that matchup isn't good. The wind gusts, same thing. Down in Miami, it's not looking good there. D-Hop's been on fire. Reed, I trust the most out of just about every Packer. Yeah, Mitchell's I think a good play this week.
From One Nation 420, we have IDP 123 scoring. Is the Saints rookie Jordan Howden a good pickup, or would you say him the rest of the season over Jamal Adams, Rudy Ford, PJ Locke, or St. Juiced?
Ricky and I were talking about Jordan Howden a couple of weeks ago about what he could do, and Ricky, to be fair, Ricky was absolutely right in week 13. He was pretty terrible, but last week, not as much. Last week was good with his 10 tackles, sack, forced fumble. It's still probably not something I'm chasing, and maybe the Saints fan could has a little bit more to it. I'd probably be still playing PJ Locke, or we do have Kareem Jackson likely coming back. That probably will put PJ Locke in a difficult spot. I'll probably go with Jamal Adams, but Jordan Howden might be second on my list if PJ Locke is going to be sent back to the bench.
Ricky?
Yeah, there's a process of elimination here. Who did the Saints play last week? Carolina. When you got Bryce Young quarterback and they're throwing for 130 yards a game, give or take, it's easy for Howden to come down and crash and stuff. So while Howden I expect to start the rest of the year, I'm just not on the bandwagon for the full year, and I'm with Michael by chasing the points. Rudy Ford, I don't see him starting. Lock Kareem Jackson's going to take his place. Not a big fan of going to cornerback or a safety. That leaves me with Jamal Adams, with the one caveat that Jamal Adams, I'm worried that he's even going to play this week. So I think you have to fire up Houghton this week and then watch for injuries on Adams, in terms of for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I'd also be curious if you wanted to submit some waiver wire options. I feel like we can find you a better option as well than any of these names potentially.
Sean, are you taking any of these guys?
I'm actually okay with Houghton. I do think the Saints will be on defense a lot the rest of the year. Ford has already lost time to Jonathan Owens, so he's already gone for me.
Yeah.
PJ Locke is on borrowed time. St. Juice is, he's a variable at cornerback. He's harder to trust. If Jamal Adams is healthy, he's usually pretty solid, but it hasn't been great lately, I don't think. So yeah, I'd be curious what else you have out on the waivers as well.
Yeah, so if you have any free agents that would be worth the pickup, let us know and we'll get you your help that you need. Chris Weezy, good morning.
Hey, Grant?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Can I just mention just a couple ones? Achan active, Chris Olave inactive, DJ Moore active, Aaron Jones is active. I don't think it changes our position from the earlier discussions, but just wanted to mention that for those that were hoping Patrick Taylor get 30 carries this week.
Chris Weezy, good morning. How would you rank the following? McBride in a half-point PPR for tight end, Mitchell with a 0.3 PPR for running backs, or Odell Beckham for 0.1 PPR for wide receiver? Scoring also includes bonuses for reception yards.
Oh man, 0.1 PPR. That's not great. It's not great at all. Are we? Am I reading this correctly? That is 0.1 per reception and not like a 0.1 bonus? I mean, I guess it doesn't really make that much of a difference. It all equals out. But yeah, I'll go Odell still. I don't love any of those guys, but if there is a bonus for reception yards, I do think Odell finishes with the most yards. And I am staying away from Trey McBride in that San Fran matchup. You also have Hollywood returning. Didn't really have that the last couple of weeks, so I'm going to go Odell, and honestly really hope that Keenan Mitchell pops off because he is a fun player.
Sean, do you have the same opinion as Mike here? I think he's frozen. So we'll go over to Ricky.
Wow, he really froze. I'm actually leaning on Trey McBride on this one. I know it's not a great matchup on the one hand, but on the other hand, 0.5 versus 0.1, and Chris did confirm it's 0.1 per reception in the chat here. So I'm going to lead towards McBride and think that Murray's going to be under heavy pressure. He's going to be dumping it off Charter, and McBride's going to catch, 8 balls for 51 yards. And so that's the direction I'm heading on this one.
Yeah, I have no issues with
I
that
understand
thinking.
Michael's concerns, but at 0.1 versus 0.5, yeah.
I've got concerns about all these guys. You could flip a coin on which one. I think Odell can find the end zone. That's pretty much my only basis for it. And also the bigger play nature of Odell.
So staying with Chris here, Jones or Lloyd?
I really don't want to. I really want Ernest. That's probably where my initial gut goes. I'm going to go Ernest Jones against Washington. That's too perfect.
Ricky, I saw you nodding your head on that one.
It's hard to argue. I was just trying to. I was trying to think through the weather though in the Jacksonville game, and does that make a difference or not? And so but I'm still going to stick with Ernest Jones over Lloyd on this one.
So Sean, just a quick recap here. Mike and Ricky are going Jones over Lloyd. Are you in agreement?
I think so.
Right.
I do like Lloyd, but Jones is a superior player, and he's more likely to hook you up with some higher tackle numbers and or big play.
Orville Simmons Jr. start Levante David or Thibodeau for IDP flex. Sean, you're thinking really hard. We're going to go with you.
Ooh,
Thanks.
Arvo, can you let us know about the scoring system?
Yeah, scoring is going to matter here. I'm tempted to take Thibodeau over David if he's getting, some pretty juicy sack points, because I do think Derek Carr will be on his back quite a bit.
So if it's a tackle heavy, sack heavy league, you're going Thibodeau.
Yes.
How about a tackle heavy league?
Tackle heavy, I'll take David.
Okay.
See, and that's the interesting thing, though, is that Thibodeau still has 5 tackles in each of his last 3 games. That's a pretty dang good baseline for someone we call, they're primarily an edge rusher, but I still lean that way because I still like Levante David. I'll lean towards what Sean said of sack heavy. I'll go Thibodeau and chase that splash. Otherwise, I'll go with Levante David.
Ricky, you're nodding. Is that agreement?
I'm aligned with that one. And if Thibodeau doesn't get a sack taken on Andrus Peat on Derek Carr, I will be absolutely shocked. I'm not going to call that one of my premonitions that I usually have, but just boy, I tell you what, if there's an anytime sack bet on Thibodeau, I'd be leaning towards taking that one right now.
So Will's asking a running back question here. Ford, Mitchell, A-Chain, Walker, Hubbard, and he needs to pick 2.
A-Chain for me for sure. And I'm probably going to go Ford as my second option. That's where I lean. I ride and die with A-Chain this year. So, and Jerome Ford kind of provides that floor, which is a nice complement to the ceiling that Devon provides.
Ricky?
I'm with my partner Michael here. I like Ford and Achane as my 2 choices here. The way the Walker Charbonnet split went, not to mention Keaton and Gus and even Justice Hill got play, and Chuba against Atlanta I don't feel great about, even with Anyamata out. So I'm going with Ford and Achane on this one.
Sean?
Yeah, I think I'm with you guys. The only other one I was playing around with was maybe Mitchell against Jacksonville there. But I think I trust Ford more than Mitchell. So, yeah, Ford and H-N.
Jamal Williams' status has changed from questionable to healthy, just so you guys know. Oh, and that is a full PPR league. Does that change anything?
It does not.
Okay. Michael, Will said he dropped the Saints for the Bears defense this morning.
Yeah, I appreciate the boldness, and especially doing it in 3 of your leagues. I probably would have stuck with the Saints and then just been upset when I end up being wrong about it. But power to you. Joe Flacco will not be amazing forever, and the Bears defense has played very well the last couple of games. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, team defense, man, this is why we play IDP. I prefer IDP massively to the team defenses.
Matt Higman saying Geno Smith, which could become Drew Lock if Geno Smith isn't cleared to play. So would you take Baker Mayfield or Drew Lock? He doesn't want to start Baker. So do I roll the dice, whatever Seattle QB plays?
I'm trusting Geno. I think he's back. I know how scary that is. And I promise you that I'm going along with this ride with you, that I have Geno Smith in a league that I am certainly not guaranteed to win in, and I'm riding that one with Drew Lock as a backup because I think I want that matchup against Philly, and I think Geno is going to play in a really must-win game for Seattle. So I'm going to go Geno here.
Is he playing for sure? Did
No.
we get that?
Not for sure. I
No.
think he'll play, but I genuinely don't know. He could certainly miss because it's that injury has definitely been lagging, and I don't think he's registered a full practice.
So are you still taking? If he doesn't play, you're still taking Drew Lock over Baker Mayfield.
I am, which I don't
Okay.
love, but I don't love the Baker matchup either.
Ricky?
Yeah. The only thing that Matt that I'm aligned with Michael first. The only thing I might consider is if you have heavy penalties for interceptions, Baker might throw one, Drew Lock might throw three. If he plays, that might be the only thing that might shift me towards Baker tidbit, but I'd rather ride the Geno Drew train and take that gamble versus Philadelphia's just decrepit, beat up secondary with who just lost Darius Slay now as well. I'd rather roll with Geno and Drew in this one. Now I do have a different league where I have to pick between Sam Howell and the Geno Drew thing, and I'm running with Sam Howell. But versus Baker, I'm going with the Geno and Drew.
So here's a question: if Joe Flacco's available, are you starting him over any of these guys?
Yes.
No. I don't want to play Joe Flacco in my playoffs. I don't want to play Drew Lock either. But oh my god. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably play Joe Flacco if I had to. I don't want to. I don't think it's going to be as good as it has been the last couple of weeks. But if I had to, I'd play Joe Flacco instead of rolling good dice.
Sean, we didn't get your full take on Geno Smith / Drew Lock over Baker Mayfield.
I'm leaning Baker because I think Philly's going to come out and smack whoever's the quarterback in the mouth this week. That's my fear. Like I think it's Monday night, it's the late game. I want to take something a little more sure with Baker, who I do think will be more careful with the ball than either of these guys. And I'm not convinced that the Seahawks can run with Philly this week. I'm skeptical.
But if Flacco's available, you're taking Flacco over Baker.
I like Flacco over Lock and Baker for sure. If Geno was healthy and was expected to play right now, I don't think he's fully expected. So that's why I lean the Baker Flacco route. If Geno was for sure healthy, I would be on Geno. He's not, and I do not trust Drew Lock. And I think Baker Mayfield has actually been fairly careful with the ball. He's just not going to give you a whole lot of points.
Yeah.
But I don't think he'll hurt you as much as the other.
Matt, two things real quick. Should have started Aiden O'Connell. One. Two, let us know who are the free agents in your league. Maybe we have a better option here. Levante David or Thibodeau, we already answered that. We still don't have snow all the way up here in Saskatchewan, which is awesome. Winter, I hate everything about winter.
No, Saskatoon. Be careful.
Yes.
I
Sorry.
was going to say, if it's pronounced like that, I'm glad you're reading it because I certainly was not going to say it.
I'm sorry.
We'll let us know it's Saskatoon last week, Grant.
Okay. I will not poke the bear on that one. So it's a full PPR league. Needs to pick one. A-Chain with an injury. Chuba Hubbard, Jerome Ford, Calvin Ridley. He has Raheem Mostert as his RB1.
Still playing A-Chain. Although, Ford is tempting here. Ford is tempting because you don't want to go full in against the Jets. I was
All
hoping
right,
someone
a
would
sneeze
step
was
up
coming,
and-
so I'll jump in here.
Yeah.
So I actually do like H.N. on this one. With Tyreek out, I can see them assuming that Tyreek probably wouldn't play in scheming up plays where Mostert and H.N. are both on the field. And even though you have Mostert, I could see H.N. out in the slot. I could see him on jet sweeps. I could see them sending him deep because I watched him play out for H.N. with Hill out because they saw what happened when Hill was out and how they had very limited success against Tennessee when he was. So I'm riding H.N. I just feel good about that one.
Sean.
Yeah, as a Dolphin fan, I don't mind going all Dolphin on this one. Jerome Ford was the other guy that I might swap out HN for, but yeah, if you're okay with it, I think that's your best option here.
He just scares me because he seems so fragile.
I get it. I totally get it.
I'll be the different one. I'll go for it. I have no issue with playing HM. Think he'll be great, but I like to get. Ford's just been so safe, and I kind of want that with my RB2 spot there.
What we're saying is we are definitely out on Hubbard and Ridley.
Yes, that's what we're saying. Yeah.
And honestly, I thought Ridley would have a better.
I'd be.
Go ahead. I was just going to say I thought Ridley would be better without Kirk, but he's not.
Right.
No, he's been at his best when that Jaguars receiving room is at full strength. When they have Zay Jones, when they have Evan Ingram, when they have Christian Kirk, and you take away one of those pieces, and it hasn't been as good.
That's really weird that it works out that way, but yeah,
it is because we've seen him be dominant with nothing around him. So it is really, really interesting.
Ricky, you were going to say something.
And Ridley is going against that Baltimore defense to boot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying Baltimore defense that Ridley's going against is tough. So I'm right there with you. I'd be avoiding Ridley.
So Fantasy Sports needs help with selecting a cornerback. Should I roll with McDuffie over Snead, St. Juste, or Alante Taylor, or any matchup you recommend? Tackles are equal 5 points, assists 3 points, and passes defended are 5. Interceptions are 10.
I'll just throw a couple obvious ones out there just in case they're not rostered. I'd play what's his name, Miles Bryant, and certainly Roger McCreary if they're out there. Those two guys, if those guys are out there, I'd be chasing them for sure. But I don't know if you hear my dog just start screaming outside at something. But I'll probably go Snead slightly. I don't mind going with McDuffie. I don't really want to trust St. Juste or Alante Taylor. St. Juste is probably more than Alante Taylor as much as I like him.
Sean?
You're getting 5 points for a pass deflection. One of the best pass deflectors
is Alante Taylor.
And St. Juste is right there too.
St. Juste, yeah.
So those are big points. I'm tempted to take St. Juste on this one. Tackles are also 5 points though. So this is some wild scoring here.
I'm gonna pivot. I'm gonna pivot and go Alante Taylor. That's based on the point out of that past. I won't lie, I got very obsessed about 5 points per tackle, but and Alante Taylor could rack up tackles as well. It was just we saw it last week. Kind of took a lull mid-season, but I'll go Alante Taylor.
Ricky,
I like it.
I'm going Taylor on this one as well, based on this scoring system. That's why knowing your scoring system is one of the most important rules for fantasy. Offense, defense, it doesn't matter. And on this one, I really do like Taylor in this matchup against Tommy DeVito here. That's my role right now.
Stroud is out, so you need to pick one.
That's a non-Saints biased call for the record.
Pick one: Geno Smith versus Philly, Sam Howell versus Rams, or Kyler Murray versus San Francisco, Flacco versus Chicago.
Commander Howell, serving up dimes. That's my.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
What, most passing attempts in the NFL as well? So he's not afraid to throw the ball.
Yeah. No, the dimes. If they come, it's because he's throwing it 7,000 times a game. But I do love Sam Howell, love the matchup, love the attempts, and that's where I'm going to go.
I agree with that, Ricky. Just straight nod.
I'm in on Howell on this one. The Rams are going to put up a lot of points. They're going to put up a lot of points, and Washington's going to be chasing. And he may throw a pick or two, but he's going to get a lot of yards, and he'll pick up 2 or 3 touchdowns. This will be a 45-28 kind of game.
Sean.
Yeah, I'm on board with these guys. How's pick?
Will Keaton Mitchell or A-Chain?
A-Chain.
A-Chain. Yep.
No, I like Keaton Mitchell as much as the next guy, but no.
Only Jock in the Village is asking a defensive special teams pick here. He's got the Browns, the Ravens, and the Rams all rostered. Opponent is playing the Panthers. Thoughts on who to play? He's a slight favorite.
I mean, I think you could do worse than the Saints defense if they're out there, which they were in a lot of leagues, at least earlier in the week. If anybody has any other ideas off the top of their head, feel free to throw it out. Let's see. A lot of the good defense I wanted to play kind of already played, which is a little bit difficult. Beyond that, I mean, you could pick up the Eagles potentially and see if Drew Lock's playing, but that's not great for multiple reasons. So I'd hope the Saints are out there, but I think it's kind of hard to.
So you like those all over the Browns, the Ravens, and the Rams?
No, he has them rostered.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I thought they were rostered by other people, so you couldn't pick them up for some reason. Okay, I'm very silly this morning. I'll go Cleveland. Here.
Ooh.
Although you're really hurt, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're really hurt.
Banged up. Very banged up.
I'll tilt to the Ravens.
Yeah. Sean?
My initial thought was Ravens. Browns is right there with them, though. Hurt or not, those guys have been getting it done.
No Delpit.
No Delpit.
Was he doing that great?
Yeah, he earned himself a cool $36 million.
It's that defensive front that's been getting it done.
Oh, I know.
Absolutely. I think it's the Ravens for me.
Ricky?
Ricky is deep in thought.
I hate to do this to only Josh.
He's thinking about the Rams.
But I'm going with I'm going with the Rams. I actually am. Back to my comments. I think Sam Howell was. Oh, I'm freezing a little bit. Sorry, guys. I'm going with the Rams. If y'all could hear that, Rams.
I get it.
I think Howell will throw a couple of interceptions. I think there'll be a couple of sacks. I think there'll be a fumble off of those sacks. I'm going Rams.
I have no issue with that either, because I mean it's also no Brian Robinson this week. Which, whether you feel good about Brian Robinson or not, he has been a very big part of that offense. So that's a big piece they don't have. I'll still lean with the Ravens, but I definitely understand the Rams.
Need some help. 32 IDP Dynasty. I'm in the NFC Championship. Last IDP starter. Jeremy Chin or Jefferson.
I'm guessing, is that Quentin Jefferson? Are we talking third and fourth string defensive tackles on the Jets? Oh, or I guess second maybe, but that's amazing. Oh,
I've been starting him quite a bit in some deep leagues as well.
And then you got,
I'm not knocking it.
Second game back, good matchup, but he hasn't done anything.
I'm doing Jefferson in this one.
I'm going Jefferson as well.
Yeah, I'm not starting Chin.
We're all
anybody
Jefferson.
over
Yep.
Chin.
And then he's asking, How do we feel about Chin?
He sucks. He doesn't suck. The defense sucks. Like they do not use him where they should. They have linebacker issues. They have safety issues, and they won't use him in either one. They're stupid. They deserve to be the number one pick.
That's pretty well summed up. It's my only other my only other addition to that is he's been hurt all year, and it's funny because pretty much outside of the little bit he played last week, the last we saw him in the role that we normally see him in, he had a whole different coaching staff. The Carolina clean freaking house, so I have no idea how Jeremy Chin is going to be used in his second game back. I all I know for sure is that I'm not going to play him. So even in a 32 team IDP dynasty, which I love that concept. So I'll go with Jefferson, who has been in very good form.
Yes, Ricky.
I have to say I have never seen Sean more passionate about anything this whole year. That has been the most passionate he's been all year on any topic. So I'm definitely going Jefferson.
It's maddening. It's maddening.
Oh.
This guy can play linebacker better than anybody they have. He can play safety than half the ones they've used, and they refuse to do it. It's stupid.
So we've seen Deion Jones before we've seen Jeremy Chin linebacker.
So back to that QB question. The only QB starter available is Zappy, and he's saying it's not worth it. So
I don't remember the specific. Oh, the Geno Baker or
Drew Lock or Baker.
Yeah, no, no Zappy.
So we'll just get through the last couple questions here real quick. We got Dobbs or Cooks for full PPR.
Dobbs.
Ricky, Sean.
Cooks.
Dobbs. Okay. Matabuke.
On that one. That works.
Yeah.
Pick up Matabuke.
You're wrong on that one, Sean.
Pick up Matabuke for the next week and drop Granderson or Van Ginkel this week.
Drop Van Ginkel. I'm not dropping Granderson. That guy's awesome. He's the guy who deserves a ring on my roster. He's earned his right.
We got Trey McBride or Jake Ferguson in PPR.
Ooh.
Fergie.
Sean?
I'll make it.
I said those nice things about McBride earlier, but I'm still going Ferguson in this matchup against Buffalo.
Yeah,
McCreary or Alante?
Oh, well, McCreary against Tennessee is, to be fair, that is what he's been doing all year long. It hasn't been good, but
it's a 5-point tackle, 3 points for pass deflection, and or I'm sorry, it's that same weird scoring. It looks like interception 10, pass to the defense is 5, assists is 3, and tackles are 5.
Yeah, so McCreary against backup quarterback Case Keenum. I'm going to go McCreary. No issue with Alante though, because the more I think about him, the more time I put into it. I do like Alante this week, especially in that scoring. But 5 points per tackle, I'll go McCreary. He's just been a machine on that.
Awesome, Sean.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'll take McCreary slightly over Alante.
Ricky.
Close with McCreary, but I think it's going to be close. I think at the end you're going to see their scoring is be about the same at the end. That's my bet.
All right, here's our final question. Start 3, 2 at wide receiver, 1 at flex. Zay Flowers, Marquise Brown, Zay Jones, Noah Brown, Trey McBride, and Aaron Jones. It's a PPR league.
Not doing Aaron Jones. I said that before. I'm just willing to be wrong. I'm not doing Aaron Jones.
I think I'll just take both Zays on this one.
Not doing Marquise Brown.
I think it's both Zays, and I honestly might go Noah Brown. I might go nuts. This is week 15, man. I don't know where I am. But I think I might go both Zays and Noah Brown, or both Zays and Marquise Brown with another. I'm not playing Trey McBride against San Fran. I'm just not doing it, I guess. I'll go I'll go Zays and Marquise Brown. I'm going to trust Marquise Brown to get back.
Marquise Brown, but not Trey McBride.
No, yeah, I'll play Marquise Brown over Trey McBride, yes.
Ricky?
I'm waiting for this Marquise Brown, Kyler Murray connection to reignite. It's got to happen.
Ricky?
Yeah, I made a trade for Marquise and it's just let me down. I have him on the bench, particularly against San Francisco right now. I'd rather play McBride over Marquise if it wasn't Zay and Noah.
Sean, you did say the Tuesdays. Who are you taking as your third?
So I understand hesitation with Noah Brown because we've seen him come in and do nothing, and we've also seen him come in and just go off.
Yeah.
That was with CJ Stroud, not with Case Keenum. So I'm still going to take that chance on Brown.
And we're going to rapid fire this one. Dak or Mahomes with the weather conditions?
Where are the weather conditions that I'm aware? Oh, I guess in Foxborough it's not great, right? Never is.
Buffalo.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, not good at rapid firing this one. I'm gonna go Mahomes, and I don't love that at all.
Taking Dak.
Yeah, I get that.
Ricky, agree?
Dak.
And then Amari or Aaron Jones?
Dak.
Then Amari or Aaron Jones?
No Brown. I'll go Amari. I don't love it.
Yeah, I'm
going Amari.
down
I don't love either
hatred
one,
for
but I'm going
Jones.
Amari.
Yeah. And then to close this out, where is it? Will's giving us a geography lesson. Saskatoon is in Saskatchewan, so it's all good.
This is
Good to hear.
This is the real important stuff of the show.
But with that being said, good luck in your first round of playoffs. And we'll close this out real quick by letting everybody know where to find everybody and what you do with IDP guys. Sean, how about you? We'll start with you.
I am a Jeremy Chin fan at IDP guys, soon to be IDP Plus. You can find me on the X Twitter at Sean8386.
Mike?
Yeah, you can follow me at Michael__Scully, but more importantly, follow at IDP guys because that's mainly where I'm putting most of my IDP stuff nowadays, or all my IDP stuff nowadays. But I'm barely tweeting from my own Twitter account nowadays. So, yeah, follow IDP guys. That's good. That's good stuff.
Ricky, first of all, how disappointed were you that your son chose Arkansas over LSU? And then you can tell us.
Well, you got to be a supportive parent. That's all I can tell you. And so he did graduate from the Sam Walton School of Business, and so which is after the Walmart guy. They have a great business school, so I can't complain too much. He's got a degree, so I'll take it. And you can see me at RickyRod66, but come check us out at idpguys.org. I got a lot of great stuff there, particularly for these last couple of weeks as you're trying to win your championship. Come check out our rankings, our articles, our tools, etc. There's some great stuff there.
Absolutely. You can find me at Grant_Gillen. And then you can also find all my work at the YouTube channel IDP Guys Network. So with that being said, best of luck to everybody in their playoffs. Hopefully we see you next week because that means you have won. And we'll talk to everybody else next week as well. See ya.